The rise of Africa's young lions, how Gen Z presidents are changing global power. What if I told you the most revolutionary leaders on the planet right now aren't in Washington, Beijing, or Paris but in Ouagadougou, Dakar, and Bamako? Africa's Gen Z presidents, dubbed the Young Lions, are rewriting the rules of power and the world is watching in shock. This is not just a political shift. It's a global awakening. The Young Lions have arrived. They're in their 30s and early 40s. They don't wear suits and ties. They speak like revolutionaries and walk among their people. Names like Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso and President Bassirou Diomaye Faye of Senegal are sparking excitement across the continent and fear in Western capitals. These are not your average politicians. They are military-trained, tech-savvy, and ideologically grounded. Most importantly, they speak directly to the hearts of millions of African youth, a generation that's fed up with corruption, foreign control, and colonial-era economics. With over 60% of Africa's population under 25, this is not just symbolism. This is strategic. How they're changing the global power game. So, what's different about these leaders? Rejecting neocolonialism. Traoré and others are cutting ties with French military bases, rejecting the CFA franc, and demanding economic independence. Pan-African alliances. New regional coalitions like the Alliance of Sahel States, EAS, made up of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger are forming an African security bloc free from foreign domination. Youth inclusion and direct democracy. Gen Z leaders are using social media, street dialogues, and grassroots organizing to stay in touch with their base, something Western elites haven't mastered. Ditching the dollar and embracing multipolarity. They're openly supporting the BRICS alliance, creating trade agreements in local currencies, and inviting China, Russia, and others to invest on African terms. This isn't just a power grab, this is a redefinition of sovereignty. Why the West is nervous? Let's be honest, the Western world has long treated Africa as a playground for cheap labor, raw materials, and geopolitical manipulation. But now, these young lions are kicking the colonizers out politically, militarily, and economically. France has withdrawn troops from multiple Sahel countries. US influence is rapidly shrinking, especially in countries rejecting its military aid packages. The CFA franc, long seen as a tool of economic slavery, is being dismantled before our eyes. Western media paints these leaders as military strongmen, anti-democratic, or dangerous populists. But on the streets of Ouagadougou or Bamako, they are seen as liberators. The domino effect, more to come? These aren't isolated revolutions, they're contagious. From the Congo to Cameroon, young Africans are calling for change. The message is simple: we want leaders who look like us, think like us, and fight for us. Thousands now show up at rallies waving not French or US flags, but Russian, Burkinabe, Pan-African, and sovereign national flags. The old guard backed by the IMF, France, or the US State Department is running out of time. Even former Western allies are now calling for currency reform, military sovereignty, land redistribution, digital infrastructure built by Africans for Africans. The world map is tilting, and it's because Africa's youth is rising. Why this moment is historic? This isn't just about Burkina Faso or Senegal. This is about identity, destiny, and legacy. Africa is no longer asking for a seat at the global table, it's building its own table. And the young lions are roaring louder than ever. These leaders aren't perfect. But they represent something the world hasn't seen in decades. A generation of leaders that refuses to be bought, silenced, or exiled. They are facing bullets with books, corruption with courage, and imperialism with innovation. The world may not be ready. But Africa's young lions are here. And they're not just changing politics. They're changing power itself. Do you think Africa's Gen Z leaders can succeed against global pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.